Hey guys, it's Abigail. Welcome to another video. So today I'm joined with my nephew, Steph, and we will be doing a book review. So I'm going to be reviewing 3 different authors, which will be Ted Dekker, Terry Blackstock, and Donita K. Paul. Alright, so the first book that we're going to be reviewing is Dragonspell by Donita K. Paul. This is actually a series of 5 books. There's Dragonspell, Dragon Quest, Dragon Knight, Dragonfire, and Dragonlight. So there are 5 of them in total. They are really fun books. I would highly recommend it. It is... Bless you. Okay, so this one is the beginning of the book series, obviously. Hi. Yeah. And it is about a girl. Her name is Kale, and she has the ability to discover dragon eggs super easily. And there are these things called minor dragons that are like super, super tiny, and they will like sit on her shoulders and stuff like that. And so she doesn't have any, she just has eggs, and she doesn't know what kind of eggs they are. And then one hatches, and then another hatches, and eventually she has a ton of them. But it's really fun to just watch her like go through her life. And then there's this guy named Barden, and they're kind of like, they are kind of not enemies, but they're definitely not friends. And then it's just fun to like see characters' development and how they become actual friends as the story goes on. And it's really fun. There's a lot of other characters. There's a lot of plot twists that you're like, wait, what? And it's really cool. It is actually, there's a character in it named Wolder, but you never see that character because that character is God in the book. And then there's Jesus, and then there's a devil. And it's really fun how things are portrayed and how the devil is always talked about as like the liar in the book and stuff like that. And then Jesus comes in and like just saves the day and stuff like that. It's so, so cool, and I really love it. And it's just a very different way of looking at things. So it's fantasy, but it's also Christian. So it's really cool. And if you're looking for just a good read, I read a couple in one weekend just because I couldn't put the books down because they were so fun to read. So I kept reading them, and they are very hard to put down. Another book that's hard to put down is Blink by Ted Dekker. This is about a boy named Seth. He and this lady Miriam, I don't know if you can see because it's kind of dark, but they are from completely like different like cultures. Like he is just like, he's so smart. He has like, I think they said higher IQ than Einstein did, and Einstein's really, really smart, or he was. And then Miriam is like a princess from, she's like, I think an Islamic princess, and she doesn't want to be forced into marriage, so then she runs away. And Seth is at this like party, and where he's supposed to be like celebrated because he's so smart. And then basically, hey, it's okay. And then basically he gets like a vision, like he gets like a picture, and he can see some person in the bathroom with a guy coming in with like a gun. And he's like, that's not good. People aren't supposed to go into the bathroom with a gun. So then he quickly like leaves, and he goes, and it turns out that it was Miriam, and he was actually seeing the future, and he saved Miriam from getting shot. And so that was really fun. And then there's like a whole big like plot with like Miriam's like family and culture and everything. And then it's kind of difficult to follow at first, but it's so fun. I've read it at least 3 times. It's so fun. It's another book that it's really hard to put down. It's by Ted Dekker, and it's just so fun because it's called Blink because like in the blink of an eye Seth is now seeing different images than what he had been seeing. And then he's on the run, and then Miriam ends up getting brought back to her kingdom, which she doesn't want to get brought back. But she gets brought back to her kingdom and is being forced to marry the guy she didn't want to again. And then Seth is able to imitate somebody from her culture, and then goes and rescues her. And it's really fun. It's action-packed, but it's also really fun, and it's also a Christian fiction book. So that's really fun. And then the last book is actually in a series. This is the second book in the series. This is If I'm Found. There's If I Run, If I'm Found, and If I Live. They're by Terry Blackstock. It's a great story. I love how Terry Blackstock writes things. She writes them really well. From chapter to chapter, she switches from the main girl, Casey, to Dylan. And so then the chapter 1 will say, or for instance right here, Chapter 17, it says Dylan. It doesn't have a chapter name. It just says 17. And I really love that. And that's just, I don't know. It's something that inspires me and makes me want to write a book like that, because it's so cool. How it's just like, each chapter 25 says Casey. How each chapter it doesn't even have a title. It just has the name of the character. That chapter is who the viewpoint is from. So for instance, for that chapter that I just showed you with Casey, that would be from Casey's eyes. So it would say like I and stuff if Casey's thinking about herself or talking about herself. Then the next chapter might be about Dylan, and then if it says I, then it'd be him talking to you. So it's really cool how Terry Blackstock does that, and it's really fun. I accidentally read If I'm Found before If I Run, because I didn't know that there was an If I Run, and this is called the If I Run series. There's only 3 books in it. I can only read them in order, because I think if I would have read the first one first, it would have made more sense, but I didn't look at it and see that it says book 2. So I just saw, oh, we have a book on our shelf, so I got it, and we didn't even have If I Run, but we have it now. We bought it. So these are all books that we own. They're really super, super fun. This one is about a girl who when she was like younger, then there was a murder that happened with her dad, and she was convinced it was a murder. Everybody else was like, no, it was suicide. And she's like, no, somebody must have. And then this one guy that was her friend, he is like a reporter, and he finds out the truth. He finds out what happened, and right as he's about to tell her, he dies. And Casey was coming over that day so that way she could get the evidence to prove that her dad had been murdered. And she goes over to his house, and he's dead. And so then she gets his blood on her hands. And then the police are blaming her for his death. And she's like, no, that wouldn't have happened. I didn't do that. He was my friend. And nobody believes her. So then she goes on the run trying to be like, I don't want to be convicted of murder because I didn't do it. And then this guy named Dylan, he's a cop. And he's by the people who, the parents of the person who got killed, who they're blaming it on Casey, then Dylan got hired by them, and so he's supposed to track down Casey. Well, he actually believes Casey, and so then he's going through and trying to be like, hey, like, I believe you, and she's like, I don't trust you, so I'm not gonna let you catch me. And he's like, you need to let me catch you because I need to keep you safe, because there's another cop who is chasing her who may or may not be bad. So it's really fun. It's so fun. I know I'm spoiling all the books, but they're really, really, really great to read. Super fun, and just really definitely worth looking into and just reading about. Even if you don't want to read the whole thing, like, Blank is only 1 book, but the Dragon Keeper series, what my brother and I call it, by Donata K. Paul, that you can just read 1 book if you wanted, and same with that If I Run series. They're really great books, and they're such a fun thing. They're just really fun to read. So I would highly recommend them, And I hope you have a great Saturday. That is all that Steph and I have to share with you today. And I will see you on Tuesday. Bye!